All right, Algebra 1, like we talked about a little bit in the Zoom meeting, we're going to start lesson 12-1. There's one thing that I want to go over, and that is graphing rational functions. I want to go over the word asymptote, because you're going to see that in a lot of your other classes. So an asymptote is a graph that gets close, or it's where the graph gets close to these lines, but it'll never cross them. And these lines are what we call the asymptotes. So when a graph is getting really, really close to these lines and never crosses them, you have asymptotes. So if I have a rational function graph that looks like this, I would have an asymptote here and an asymptote right there. Okay, so a vertical asymptote, you set the denominator of your equation. These are all what we call rational functions. These are your fractional functions. We're going to set the denominator equal to 0 and then solve for x. So all I'm going to do is take this one right here to find my vertical asymptote. I'm going to set my denominator equal to 0, solve for x. Well, easy basic algebra. Subtract 2 from each side. X equals -2. Done. That's my asymptote. This one here, I'm going to do the same thing. X minus 6 equals 0. I'm going to add 6. X equals 6. There's that one's asymptote. Okay, so you just take your denominator, set it equal to 0, solve for x. It's that easy to find some vertical asymptotes. Okay, so now I'm going to look at a graph. And they're going to want me to find the asymptotes of this graph. Well, this right here is horizontal, right? Because it's a crossed. When it's horizontal and it's a crossed, it is y equals. So it's the horizontal asymptote. Well, where is this line at? 1, positive 1, right? Up 1, across. So this one here has to be my vertical. There's your x equals. Where is it at? 1, 2. Done. This is your horizontal asymptote, and it denotes it because it's y. And that's your vertical asymptote, which denotes it because it's x. So now we've got a different type of an equation. They're saying you find your vertical asymptote, you take your denominator, just like we did on the other side, and set it equal to 0, solving for x. So I set it equal to 0, x equals -h. So there's my vertical asymptote. My horizontal asymptote is just y equals k, so it's whatever this number is back here. I will not switch a sign on this number, so if it's negative, it'd be y equals negative whatever. So here's one example. So to find my vertical, take your denominator, set it equal to 0. Subtract 6, x equals -6. Done. Your horizontal asymptote, y equals k. Well, that's k. Y equals -3. Done. And that's all I'm going to have you do today with those vertical and horizontal asymptotes. I'm not going to require you to graph them. You don't need to graph them. I just want you to find them. And just take your time and don't make it difficult because it's really, really simple. Okay, so there it is, asymptotes.